Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the Talking Raven. My name is Stenley Philippe. If you're tuning in today, I want to say thank you for joining us. We've been having an amazing week filled with some awesome conversations across Microsoft Teams as well as Instagram Live, and it's been great. On Tuesday, I had a chance to host the first Talking Raven here on Teams. And there were some amazing questions that were being asked. We were able to share a bit more about where we're at in the application process, as well as things to look for in the coming weeks. And there's so many great questions that are being asked that we thought, it'd be important for us to give you another opportunity to ask those questions. And so what we invited folks to do is over the last couple of days is to hop on our Instagram account, Carleton_future, and ask away. Send us some questions, and we selected a few of those questions, and we will be addressing those in a little bit. But our live event Q&A, yes, the Q&A for today's session is open. It is available for you to utilize. So what you want to do, if this is your first time on Microsoft Teams, is look for that live event Q&A and ask us your questions. We've got folks from our undergraduate recruitment office, as well as our international admissions team, waiting to answer those questions. And later on during our live session, what we'll do is pick a couple of those questions too and answer those live. I'll be chatting with my colleague Briar in a little bit. So again, if this is your first time on Microsoft Teams, your first time checking us out, thank you for joining us. We've got a month-long series of webinars and Instagram Lives coming your way. So very excited about that. We also are very excited about giving you some of that Carleton identity at home. And so what we're going to be doing is hooking up some of you guys with some prizes. You might be noticing, I don't know if you can see on camera, that I'm wearing a Ravens hoodie. We have a lot of really great Raven spirit on our campus. And tomorrow on our Instagram Live, we're going to talk a bit more about our Spirit Fridays. But what we want to do is provide some of you guys with some of our Raven gear. So if you ask a question today, you might get a chance to win a prize. And the folks that we were able to connect with on Instagram and utilize their questions for today's chat, we're going to hook you guys up with some swag as well. So look out for that. And every single event that we're going to have this month will give you an opportunity to win some CU pride, some Ravens gear. So again, please tune in to as many events as you can. They're a great way for you to connect with our community, to keep you informed, and to hopefully make you feel good about our community and about your post-secondary future. So again, as you can see in the published section of our live event Q&A, we want to welcome you to our See You at Home live Q&A. We really can't wait to hear your questions and answer some of them live. So let's jump into the questions that we got on Instagram, and hopefully that'll get the conversation rolling. So the first question that we wanted to talk about or answer is the following. My school has canceled or postponed exams. How can I send in my grades and transcripts? And this is probably the number one question that we've been getting over the last few weeks. Obviously, for many of you guys, transitioning over to an online academic experience has been a bit of a challenge and has been a different scenario. And of course, that meant a change in how you were going to finish your secondary studies. And so first, what I want to do is talk a bit more about the different applicant types that we're going to see. Because there are two kind of major applicants that we get a chance to interact with. Our 101s are our current Ontario high school students. So these are students that are studying in the Ontario high school system. And for them, the way that it works is grades are submitted to us via UAC, which is the Ontario University Application Center. And so we will continuously receive those grades from your various schools, from your guidance offices, electronically, again, through UAC. And so whether or not your exams have been postponed, canceled, that's not going to affect the way that we get those grades. Our other applicant type are 105s, and these are students that may be studying outside of Ontario. They can include international students, it includes mature students or students that are studying at the college or university level too. And so we encourage those students to do is submit their latest transcripts via their Carleton 360 account. So 360.carleton.ca is the site. And what you're able to do there is, again, upload your transcripts. And for all of our students, you can monitor your application on that site as well. Okay, so definitely utilize Carleton 360. Send us your latest grades when they become available. Now, will I still be considered for admission without my final grades? So when we assess your application, we always use your most recent grades to reevaluate where you're at in terms of admission at Carleton. And that will stay true even if we don't receive any final grades. What we will do is use, again, your latest marks, so maybe your second semester midterm marks in the case of our local students, in order to hopefully make more offers of admission to our applicants. So again, the key here is to continuously send us the information as it becomes available. And once we see those grades, we'll take the time to, again, hopefully make you an offer of admission at that point. If you're just tuning in, again, I want to remind you that our live event Q&A is open. So please go ahead and ask those questions you've got. We have folks from our recruitment office as well as our international admissions team that are standing by to answer your questions. And what I'm doing is answering some questions that we got through our Instagram account over the last couple of days. And hopefully these are some of the questions that you have on your mind as well. The next question we got is the following. I don't have an offer. When can I expect to hear back? So Carleton makes offers on a rolling basis. What that means is the second you apply, it tells us, hey, let's start this conversation about my post-secondary future. And when we're having this conversation, the biggest thing we want to do is, again, give you access to our university. Now, when it comes to our Ontario high school students, the way that we calculate your admission average is by looking at your top 6 grade 12 U/M courses, and included in those top 6 will be your prerequisite subjects. So what we're doing is, again, as we receive your grades, we're looking for those prerequisite subjects. We're also looking to see where your average is within those top 6 grades. And so it's possible that at the time that you applied, we didn't have that combination available. And so what we're going to be doing is, as we're receiving midterm marks, and we are getting midterm marks right now, we'll continue to do so over the next few weeks. We'll, again, reevaluate where you're at, and that combination of average and prerequisite courses will hopefully help you get into the programs. If you're an out-of-province student or an international student, you may have a different combination that we'll be looking for, a different formula we'll utilize to calculate your admission average. I got a chance in the fall to travel to Alberta to chat with our prospective students out there. And I know for students in Alberta, we are looking for your top 5 level 30 or 31 courses. And then we include those prerequisite subjects within that calculation. So in the case of a student in Alberta, that's the combination that we'd be looking for. So what you want to do is admissions.carleton.ca does list all of our different requirements for our different applicant types. So I'll give you a sense as to what we're going to be waiting for. But the best thing you can do, again, is to send us your grades, send us your transcripts as they become available via your Carleton 360 account. And then what we'll do is assess them and hopefully make you an offer as soon as possible. All right, let's answer another question. This question here is about deferral. So can I defer my offer of admission? So I think I should first start by explaining a little bit what a deferral is. So a deferral is when a student who's holding an offer of admission for the upcoming year decides to or wants to delay or postpone the start of their degree by 1 academic year. And so this process does require an application. And so what we're doing right now is we are reviewing our deferral policy to try to determine exactly which programs will be available and what averages we're going to be looking for in order to approve those deferrals. So usually what we do is we utilize final grades and we wait for final grades before we process those deferrals. Of course, with everything being a bit different during this global pandemic, again, we need to review how we're going to assess that. One of the really great things that we have available for you online is our COVID-19 FAQ page. And on that page, which you'll be able to find on our admissions website, admissions.carleton.ca, we also mentioned it in our published section of the live event Q&A. So thank you, Aaron, for posting that. We were able to see there is information related to COVID-19, and that will include information on deferral. So as soon as we can update our deferral process for this year, we'll update that on the FAQ page that you'll find, again, on our admissions website. So definitely tap into that resource to get more information on deferrals at Carleton University. All right. Next question. So we're going to talk a bit about residents. So will residents be available for September? And again, I just want to check in with all of our new folks that are showing up. If you missed anything, if you missed the beginning of the session, or if you do need to leave before we end, rest assured that you'll be able to watch the entire webinar session we're having today. It will be available on our CU virtual experience page. And so we are recording this session, and you'll be able to rewatch it and take down some of the questions that you may have missed, or kind of hear some of the answers again. So definitely look out for that on our CU virtual experience page. Okay, so again, the question that we're going to address now is about residents. Will residents be available for September? So I want to say that safety really is the number one concern, and it remains really paramount at our institution. And what we're currently doing is implementing different mitigation measures, and of course we are adhering completely with the federal, provincial, and municipal public health regulations here in the city in Ontario and in Canada. And so a lot of it has to do with what happens on the governmental level, but we're also looking at ways to, again, ensure that if we can open residence, that it will be open in a very safe way for our students that would be living on campus. So these are some of the conversations that are happening right now. I want to let you know that we're going to have a residence webinar session that will happen later on this month. And so if you are thinking about living on campus, you're going to want to tune into that webinar, and we'll let you know once the date has been finalized, because it's going to hopefully give you more information about where we're at with regards to residence and how it's going to impact you in the fall. In the meantime, if you have received an offer of residence and you plan on living on campus in the fall, my advice to you is to do the following 3 things before June 8th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So the 3 things are: 1, accept your offer of admission. You need to accept your offer first before you can go into accepting your offer of residence. Step 2, of course, accept your guaranteed offer of residence on your Carleton Central account. And while you're at that account, you'll be able to do the 3rd step, which is to pay your $700 deposit. Now, with regards to the deposit, if you decide between the time you pay the deposit and June 8th that you're no longer planning on living on campus, you'll be fully refunded for that $700 deposit. Okay, so again, take the time to go through that process, accept your offer of admission, your offer of residence, pay your deposit. That secures your spot in residence on campus, and then we will keep you informed as we move towards the end of the month with regards to what will be happening in the fall. Okay, let's take another question. Where can I learn more about studying at Carleton? And this is a really great question because we want to share that experience, and it's something that I love to do. As a recruitment officer, I've been able to travel across Canada over the last few years, and it's fun to be able to really share what's happening at Carleton and what it means to be a student on our campus. So what we've done right now is, again, create a really great website that you can use to discover our community. It is called the CU Virtual Experience site, and you'll be able to find that website on our admissions page, so admissions.carleton.ca, and it includes a lot of really great links to things like our online chats. So what we do every weekday is we have chat sessions available for both our domestic and international students. So what you will be able to do is go into that page, click on the chat link, and talk to some folks in our international admissions team. They're available from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, our domestic team as well during our regular business hours, so 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Again, Monday to Friday, and that's Eastern Time. So you can find information on our chats there. You'll also find our video gallery. So if you're looking to get more information about the Carleton experience, hear from our professors or students, or even rewatch some of the recordings that we're doing this month through our webinars and our Instagram lives, you'll find it in our video gallery. There's information on different resources that are available at Carleton, including our CU Therapy Dog program. And I want to give a shout out to Shannon, who yesterday was on our Instagram live, one of my colleagues, Trevor, and talked a bit about the Therapy Dog program and how amazing it is to have that support and able to really lift the spirits of all members of the Carleton community through our therapy dog. So you learn more about that program and other programs too on our virtual experience site. And I also want to reference something that's happened over the last few weeks, which is the Share Kindness Project. So we have this thing called Hub for Good. And in that hub or on that page, you'll find information on our Share Kindness Project, which is a space for kindness and community in really these challenging times. And you're going to find stories of community members, faculty, students, staffs, alumni, various partners, friends, neighbors, really anyone that has a Carleton connection and that's helping others during this global pandemic. And so we want to share that positivity, we want to spread that love, and you'll be able to find that through the Share Kindness Project. So definitely check that out. I should also give a shout out to some of my student employees. So we have student callers at Carleton University, a team of current students that are reaching out to prospective students, future Ravens, to share more about their experiences at Carleton. You know, I was a student at Carleton from 2000 to 2004, so obviously that's a long time ago. But our current students can tell you exactly what's happening in their classrooms and how their experience is going. And I got an email actually yesterday from one of my student callers, and she was telling me about a conversation she had about her program with a prospective student, and they chatted for half an hour, and she was so excited that she was able to again share what she's been up to and how she's enjoyed her time at Carleton. So that type of connection is really important to us. So if you do get a phone call from Carleton, please talk to those students, and you might hear from our faculty as well. Our faculty are also reaching out to you to tell you a bit more about how they can help you navigate your post-secondary journey. So please definitely utilize those resources and pick up the phone if we do call you, because we want to have some amazing conversations with you. So these are some of the ways for you to learn more about what studying at Carleton is all about. We do take your post-secondary future seriously, and we don't want you to feel like you haven't had every opportunity to learn more about what it means to be a Raven, and again, how that might help you from an academic, professional, but also personal level. So take the time to check out our resources, and we'll definitely take the time to reach out to you and to help you throughout these next few weeks and these next few months, and of course, if you come to Carleton throughout these next few years too. So we're having a chat right now, and I referenced at the beginning of our chat that there are going to be opportunities for you to win some prizes, and I see someone wrote, "Ooh, Raven swag, nice." So I'm glad that folks are into the swag, because it's cool. It's great to be able to showcase to the world, you know, the community that you're a part of, and we really want you to be part of our community. So look out for an opportunity to win prizes, not only today, but every single webinar, every single Instagram live that we're doing. We're going to be reaching out to you to give you some chances to win some Raven gear. So so hopefully, if you're watching, you will be one of the winners from today. And if not, again, keep watching for opportunities to do just that. And I should also mention that tomorrow on our Instagram live, we're going to be talking a bit more about our Spirit Day. So every Friday is Spirit Fridays at Carleton, and we're going to have a really cool way of showcasing that spirit tomorrow. So you want to check out our Instagram live at 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And that goes into our next question. Are you offering more webinars? So yes, there are more webinars that are happening on our CU virtual experience page. What you'll be able to do is see a full schedule of the webinars that we currently have planned for you. All of our webinars are going to happen on Microsoft Teams, but we'll also have some Instagram lives throughout the next couple of weeks that you'll be able to check out on our Carleton_future page. Next week is our faculty week. So your faculty is like your home base when you are attending our university. So we're going to introduce you to the folks that are going to help you throughout your time as an undergraduate student. And so definitely look out for your specific faculty that will have some time to share their story next week on Microsoft Teams. So those are some of the questions that were received on our Instagram account. So again, I want to remind you that we are taking your questions right now, and we have some folks from our undergraduate recruitment office, from our international admissions team that are taking the time to answer the questions that you have for us. So hopefully you are able to ask those questions. And what I wanted to do is check in with one of the folks that are helping you, and maybe answer some of the questions you have live. So You're going to hear the voice of one of my colleagues. Her name is Briar, and hopefully she's tuned in. Briar, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Stan. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. We're working hard behind the scenes to answer some of your questions live. Do you want the first question, Stan?
Yeah, before I do that, I kind of want to know, like, what do you do in our office? Because I think you have a really cool and important job. So maybe tell the folks that are listening what your job is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the digital content and communications coordinator. If you've been tuning into our social media channels at Carleton_future, you will have seen a lot of the different Instagram stories and all of that content that we've been working really hard to create for you. And I also do, a ton of different tasks around the office. So we've been having a lot of fun during this isolation, curating that content.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's been really cool to see the different content that we're getting on Instagram, and we'll continue to get that too. So thank you, Brian, for doing that. So yeah, I do want to get some of your questions. I see there's some things that have been published, so maybe you can throw a couple of questions my way.
For sure. So someone asked, will their entrance scholarship be reassessed?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So what happens at Carleton is when a student is admitted with an 80% average or better, they automatically qualify for an entrance scholarship. And our entrance scholarships are valued between $4,000 and $16,000 over the course of 4 years. And so what we also try to do is, again, get your information as you get new grades. And if your average increases between the time you get your offer and your second semester midterm marks, your entrance scholarship can increase as well. So for example, let's say you were admitted in January with an 82% average. At that point in your offer of admission, you would have seen that $4,000 scholarship over the course of 4 years. But if we get your midterm marks like this week, or if you got it a couple weeks ago, and we notice that your average now increased, your admission average increased to an 88% average, all of a sudden we'll automatically increase your entrance scholarship from $4,000 to $8,000 over the course of 4 years. So you'll get an email from us saying, hey, congratulations, you've gotten an increase in your scholarship just for doing really well during your high school year. So we definitely do that. What we don't do is the opposite. So if you go from an 88% in January to an 82% average in April, May, your scholarship will not decrease. So we will keep it at that $8,000 level. Okay, so there's a potential for it to go up, but there isn't the potential for it to go down. So again, keep that in mind as you are working through your year. And I should also mention that there are other opportunities for you to tap into some of our financial resources. The next one that's going to come up for you is our entrance bursary. So what Carleton does is we want to hear about your financial situation. So go on to carleton.ca/awards. That's carleton.ca/awards, where you'll find information on our entrance bursary, and you'll find the application as well. The deadline to apply is June 30th. And again, we want to hear more about your financial story and see if there any way we can help you cover some of your tuition fees, pay for some of your books, and so on. So again, please take the time to apply for an entrance bursary. Any other questions there, Briar?
Yeah, for sure. So I know you already touched on residence a little bit, but we're getting a lot of questions nonetheless. So someone asked, is the $700 residence deposit refundable?
Yeah, so it is on two fronts. Okay, so yeah, earlier on we talked a bit about residence, and so I just want to recap what we said at that point, which is that we are working to, again, try to figure out how we can keep our campus safe for everyone, and what that means for residents. And we will be hosting a residence webinar later on this month to help kind of dig a bit deeper into what that will mean for students who are planning on living on campus. But when you are looking to stay in residence, if you have a guaranteed offer of residence, the first thing you need to do is accept your offer of admission. Then you need to accept your offer of residence. And then you need to pay your $700 deposit by June 8th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, that $700 deposit is refundable should you decide to change your mind prior to June 8th. But it's also going to be refundable if for some reason we are still doing a virtual learning experience in the fall, and if residence isn't open in the fall. that $700 deposit will be refundable. So we will refund that. I know Jillian had asked about answering more questions about residence today. And again, like, we understand how important it is for you to learn as much as possible about residence. And as you definitely know, or probably know, there are a lot of different things that are kind of moving targets, if you will, because we are trying to keep everyone safe as we work our way through this global pandemic. And so as we get more information, we will update you through our COVID-19 FAQ page, which you'll find on our admissions website, admissions.carleton.ca. And then again, we will host that residence webinar later this month, and hopefully we'll give you some more answers as to where we're at that time. I'm loving these questions. So Briar, if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Absolutely. We have someone asking what the difference is between a conditional offer and eligible for admission.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about the offer a bit more. So, so first, I'm someone who likes to like retrace steps and then kind of walk through the process. So, so step one is you hopefully attended a presentation or a session in your community about Carleton. You got intrigued, you loved what you were hearing. Step two, you submit an application to Carleton. Step three, we constantly are looking at ways to get you into our school, looking at your admission average and your prerequisite courses. And then step four is making you an offer of admission. So when you see the conditional attached to your offer of admission, that means that at the time that we made your offer, you were still taking classes. And if you are still taking classes, and typically there are conditions that need to be met on your final grades. Now, if you're not going to be receiving final grades this year, then we'll be looking at your latest grades or your last set of grades that you'll be receiving to meet those conditions. Okay, now if you're someone that applied to multiple programs at Carleton, so let's say you applied to psychology and then you applied to history. So what we're going to do in our admissions office is first look at your first choice program. So in this scenario, your first choice program is psychology. We'll look to see if you are eligible for admission for psychology. And if you are, we'll make you an offer. And that's where you'll get your conditional offer of admission. But at the same time, we'll look to see what your status is for your other choices. So if you had, again, applied to history too, and you have the right combination of grades and prerequisite courses for history, what we'll let you know is that you are eligible for admission. So that means you have the eligibility to get an offer at that time. And that if you want to receive an offer to history as opposed to psychology, to let us know, and then we can switch it as long as you maintain that eligibility into the program. So it's kind of like, you're holding a spot in psychology if you have an offer to that program, but you have the right kind of conditions, whether it be, again, the averages and prerequisite courses, in order for you to potentially hold a spot in history should you decide to choose. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind as you're looking at your offer, and read through your offer of admission when you get it, because there's a lot of really good information about not only what the offer is and your deadlines for responding to that offer of admission, but if you're getting an offer of residence, if there's a scholarship involved in it, and if you've applied to other programs, we will update you in that offer of admission too. So definitely check that out. It's a really great moment to get that offer, and congratulations to those who have it. And if you don't have an offer at this time, again, we are working hard to get you that offer as soon as possible. So keep updating or verifying your Carleton 360 account for more information on that. How am I doing, Briar?
You're doing great. We have two more questions for you. Sure. The first one is there a deposit to accept my offer?
Yeah, that's a good question. Again, a lot of students are thinking about the financial elements, and also trying to understand what happens when you want to confirm your space or your place in our university. So at Carleton, there isn't a deposit required to confirm your acceptance into your program, and so you won't have to pay anything from an academic perspective until you finalize your courses, and that will happen later on in the spring/summer when you finish your registration. So no, there will not be a deposit needed for the offer of admission. The only deposit that's required is, again, for residents. If you're thinking about living on campus, then there is that $700 deposit to go along with your guaranteed offer of residence. So no need to submit a deposit with your offer of admission. And Briar, what was that last question?
So the last question that we have for you is a little bit more of a personal one, but someone wants to know what your favorite Carleton memory is.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Wow. I have so many good memories. I think if I had to kind of pinpoint a couple, and this may be a bit cheesy, but the beginning and the end of my degree. So I remember when I received my offer of admission. So back then, everything was kind of mailed out to you. So I remember checking the mail, and I saw this kind of big envelope. So I thought, okay, this has got to be good news. And I remember opening the envelope and seeing my offer of admission, and I was super happy. And I ran to my mom, and my mom was extremely unhappy as well. And then I ran to my dad, and he was watching the Maple Leafs. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's cool, that's great. So he didn't have that same initial reaction. But of course, he was super proud. So that was very kind of validating. It was exciting. It was it made me nervous as well, but it made me feel really great to know that I got into the school that I wanted to attend. And then the end is walking on stage at Convocation, just to be able to kind of wrap up that undergraduate journey and to, again, see my parents there and to really kind of share with the folks that I connected with, my friends, my classmates, my professors that were there to hand me that degree. And I definitely kind of milked my walk. I took a long time walking across that stage because I just love that moment. I love kind of sharing that experience. And if I can throw in another one, in 2014, Carleton's basketball team was on their way to winning another championship, because we do win a lot of championships in basketball. And that particular year, the championships were taking place here in Ottawa. At the Scotiabank Place, where the Ottawa Senators hockey team plays. And so my friend and myself, we decided to go to the finals, and we didn't have tickets the day of, but we went to the arena, and we asked what kind of tickets were available. And when you have it, courtside, center row, we got tickets, and so we were literally on the court when they won, and we were trying to be really cool courtside. Or my brother texted me and said, hey, I just saw you on TV, what are you doing at the game? And I was like, oh, just celebrating with my fellow Ravens, another win. So it was a really cool moment to be able to not rush the court, but to be right there and see all the players up close, and to see the dedication they put into it. So thank you, Carleton Ravens basketball, for winning so many titles and bringing so many cool moments to our campus. This was a lot of fun. Thanks, Briar, for those questions. And please, again, keep asking those questions. We're going to be wrapping up the session fairly soon, but we still want to hear about what you're wondering about. So please, again, keep asking those questions, and stay in touch with us. Stay connected to us. Admissions.carleton.ca again is our website. We are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Carleton_future is the site for all of the or the handle for those various accounts. I should mention what's going to be coming up next in the kind of webinar live world. So again, tomorrow we're going to be hopping on Instagram, our Instagram live. So again, Carleton_future is the account, and you're going to hear about our Spirit Fridays, and you're also going to get a preview of what's in store for next week during our faculty week. We're going to be talking to a lot of different different kind of communities within Carleton, so various resources. We're going to preview or tease, if you will, our registration and our orientation program happening in the summer and the fall. So look out for that later on this month. But please tune into our webinar series. We have a lot of really great information, but more importantly, we want to connect with you, with our future Ravens. So I hope you found today's session really informative. I'll be back with the Talking Raven on Tuesday, May 19th, to give you an update on what's happening with the from an admission perspective, and hopefully we'll have some great questions at that point as well. Briar, I want to thank you for being the voice of the people during this live event Q&A. Do you have any kind of shout outs or last words you want to share with the folks or with our audience today?
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and thank you, Stenley, for being so great about answering everyone's questions. We love to get them, and we love to answer them to the best of our ability. So thanks, everyone.
So thanks again, everybody. And again, please check out admissions.carleton.ca for more information on everything related to your application. And stay in touch with our See You at Home webinar series. You'll find a link in our published section. Thank you, Aaron, for posting that. Because you'll get more information about what's coming up next and how you can reach out to us too. So thank you. This has been the Talking Raven. We will see you soon.